Welcome to Thuma Mina Teaching. This is your first grade 8 lesson for term 2. In this lesson, we are going to discuss atoms, building blocks of matter, and the periodic table. I am Tsepo Maremani, and this is my Thuma Mina. Atoms are the building blocks of matter, but the big question is, what is matter? Matter is anything that occupies space and has mass. There are two types of matter, non-living matter and living matter. As you can see on the diagram, tree and a dog are the living matter. A food basket and umbrella are the non-living matter. A Greek scientist suggested that atoms describe the smallest particles of matter. His hypothesis was rejected for almost 2,000 years until John Dalton reintroduced the concept to the science community. He claimed that all matter consists of small particles called atoms. We cannot see these small particles with our ordinary eyes. We need a special microscope to see these atoms. If we look at this wall, we can see that the bricks make up the wall. Similarly, everything that takes up space makes matter. Atoms can be considered as building blocks of matter. When John Dalton reintroduced the concept to the science community, he had the following assumptions. All matter on Earth consists of different elements. Each element consists of small invisible particles called atoms. All atoms of an element are identical. They have the same chemical properties. Atoms cannot be created or destroyed by a chemical reaction. In grade 7, you would have learned the first 20 elements. The periodic table is arranged according to the chemical properties and the atomic number of elements. Dimitri Mendeleev had his method of arranging the periodic table. First, he uses symbol. The symbols can have between 1 to 3 letters. The first letter is always the capital letter. Let's compare sulfur and copper. Sulfur and copper differ in atomic number and their chemical properties. Copper is a metal and it conducts electricity. Sulfur is a non-metal and it's brittle. The periodic table separates the metals from the non-metals. On the left-hand side of the periodic table, we find the metals. Please remember that hydrogen is not a metal. On the right-hand side, we find the non-metals. On the step that separates the metals from the non-metals, we find the semi-metals. These elements have properties of both metals and non-metals. Some elements exist as single atoms. Examples are group 8 elements, the noble gases, while some elements exist as diatomic elements. These are similar elements bonded together. On the screen, we have a structure of a diatomic molecule of nitrogen. So it's same atoms, they're identical, bonded together. We have 7 diatomic elements. Let's look at what the subatomics look like. Subatomics means smaller than an atom. There are 3 subatomic particles: protons, neutrons. Protons and neutrons are located in the middle, right in the core of an atom. Neutrons and protons are tightly packed against each other in the nucleus of an atom. The third subatomic particle is an electron. The electrons are spinning around. They are orbiting around an atom. Each of the subatomic particles carries a charge. Electrons are negative, protons are positive, and neutrons are neutral. They have no charge. We say that an atom is neutral when the number of electrons is equal to the number of protons. When we build our own model of an atom, we can see that protons and neutrons are closely packed and they do not repel. Because the nucleons are located in the core of an atom, they cannot be removed. Also remember that the electrons are orbiting around the shell of an atom and they are negative. They repel each other all the time, and this causes what we call an electron cloud. In these two representations, we can see the subatomic particles. The one has 6 protons and 6 electrons. According to my periodic table, I'll say an element with 6 protons is carbon. The other representation has 3 electrons, 3 protons. According to my periodic table, that is lithium, symbol Li. There are 2 types of pure substances, elements and compounds. Today, we're going to focus on elements, as we know that elements consist of only one type of atom. For example, if we look at fluorine, all fluorine atoms will consist of 9 protons. Currently, we are aware of 118 elements on the periodic table. If 2 or more atoms are bonded together, they form a molecule. If 2 identical atoms are bonded together, they form a diatomic molecule. Each element has a name, a symbol, and unique characteristics. As we can see between carbon and lithium that they differ with the number of protons, number of electrons, and number of neutrons. They also differ in symbols. The symbol for carbon is C, for lithium it's Li. Now, let's revise what we've done.